All right. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jay. This is the Campus Live podcast. As you can see, we're at Campus Live TTU. I have CEO Marcus Pauda with us today. A good guest to have because we want to kind of go over what Campus Live is, what we're doing right now in Campus Live, and kind of what's the goal of Campus Live. So welcome to pretty much your own show, Marcus. How's it going?
It's good.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
Does it?
Yeah.
How come? Just being on the mic?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of normally away from the
the camera or the platform.
Yeah.
Usually the behind the scenes guy.
He is makes the business deals and stuff. So a lot of people do know what Campus Live is, but also a lot of people don't. So I think first of all, let's kind of cover what Campus Live is.
Sure.
And then maybe even give us some details of how Campus Live came to your mind and how it got started.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, that's going to be a fun story, but I'll give you the crash course. So I'm a Lubbock guy.
I'm going to pull your mic to you just a tad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. It'll stretch all the way to you.
Trouble around
you can
here.
do that. You can pull it to you. Yeah.
So I'm a Lubbock guy, born and raised in Lubbock. Went to Texas Tech and studied communication studies. And right out of college, I started working in college sports. So I took my first full-time big boy job with the Texas Tech athletics department. And that was great. It really just kind of helped me dive into learning college sports, learning how colleges and universities operate on a business, level. And it was a great experience. I worked there for a couple years and then had an opportunity to go work for the University of Miami and for the Miami Hurricanes athletics department. That was great because it allowed me to kind of see a different market other than Lubbock, Texas. I had just been in Lubbock my whole life.
Sure.
Working in a pro town was great. I was working in corporate ticket sales there, so I was creating ticket packages for companies in and around Miami and competing with, the Miami Dolphins.
Is that a large market?
Huge market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then did that for a little bit, and then my final step working in college athletics was working for Learfield, or is currently Learfield IMG College. And it was just a great opportunity. I got to go do advertising and corporate sponsorships for the University of New Mexico. The reason I talk about the background is because it was actually that journey working in college sports that really ignited that entrepreneurial spirit within me. So every school that I went to, I noticed a few different things. Every school had a student-ran newspaper that, let's get real here. Newspapers kind of,
it's dated.
It's at its time.
It's dated, yeah.
Every school had their student-ran newspaper that was old and dinosaur. Every school had athletics departments pumping out content to sports fans of the university. Every school had alumni associations pumping out alumni content. You got all these different platforms, and I just had a light bulb moment. I was like, all right, why has nobody come into the market, started a media company that brought all of these things together under one fun, engaging, and modern platform? So that's kind of where I had the light bulb moment. I started doing a lot of research to see, hey, is anybody out there doing this? Because if so, I want to, pick up the phone, call them, see if I can't pick their brain because I want to go and try this out, in my hometown of Lubbock, Texas, and my home school of Texas Tech. So did a bunch of research and literally could not find one single collegiate media company that was doing something similar to this. And again, light bulb just kind of went out, and I moved back. I left my job working in college sports, moved back home, started Campus Live in my brother's basement.
Yeah, this is the cool part.
Yeah, so I wish I could go back and given myself a little bit more advice before just diving right on into it, but I guess it's part of the story.
Sure. It's the experience.
My family was really pushing me to, follow your entrepreneurial heart and go off and do it. This sounds like a great idea. And so I did and tried to save up as much money as I could. And I remember my brother was like, hey, our investment, into you and into this thing called Campus Live is going to be allowing you to move into our basement. And it was a theater room. And he had a big 120-inch HD screen down there. And so I was literally going to live in the theater room and start Campus Live. And
there, in the same spot where you slept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, funny story, humbling story, but it's just really neat. You know, I moved back to Lubbock. I took a huge leap of faith. I started Campus Live in the basement, picked up the phone that day, started calling people, and got 100 no's. And it was very humbling. I remember telling my brother, hey, man, I'm really good in sales, so this thing's going to take off. Just give me 2 months in the basement. And that was not the case. Yeah. A year later, I was moving out of the basement. But it's a true story of just staying focused, determination, having tough skin, a lot of no's in the beginning, just really trying to get people to catch on to the vision of it. And I sit here today, at our new home here at the Texas Tech Innovation Hub. It's just really cool to look back at the story before we started.
This place is awesome. If you haven't been here, a lot of times stuff that you see that we put out on social media and stuff is filmed here around the Innovation Center and studio and whatnot. And it's just, this place is really, really cool.
Well, this is a big part of our story. When I started Campus Live, total, startup story, taking it on in my brother's basement and just trying to grind it out. And I was everything, the janitor, the secretary, the journalist, the ad sales guy, the accountant,
yeah.
And so it was a true total grind. And I think a lot of what changed our story was actually encountering this place. And I'm going to do a shameless brag on the Innovation Hub because this place is amazing. I remember I was in the basement and still knocking it out. I'd been at it for about going on a year. And one of my buddies called me up and he said, hey, the Innovation Hub is having an entrepreneurial social at Teddy Jack's, and you should go. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to that thing. I'm tired. I'm sure everybody over there is going to be, trying to chat with them about
a million different ideas.
All these ideas, because that's what this place is all about. The Innovation Hub is, I call it the Shark Tank for Texas Tech.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory. If you've got an innovative idea in your respective field, then you need to come talk to the Innovation Hub and see if they can't help you commercialize that and show you the proper way to grow and scale and properly run a business. So I didn't want to go. And then, my buddy was like, well, they're going to have, some free drinks. And I was like, oh, okay, well, then I'll
Free
go.
Sounds good. Always.
Hey, startup grind. And so I went and honestly really didn't have the best attitude. I went in like, whatever. I know Campus Live. I believe in it. And maybe I wasn't giving it enough credit then. But I was like, why would they be interested in a media company? And so long story short, ended up going to the Entrepreneur Social. And I ran into, at the time, I didn't know who she was, but Kimberly Graham is our Associate Vice President of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And I thought she was just, a rep of the hub. Chatted with her about my story, and she was like, hey, you have an interesting idea. So she calls over Dr. Joe Heppert, and she's like, Joe, you got to come over here and hear this idea. Dr. Heppert comes running over, and she's like, give it to him. So I immediately had to give my elevator.
Yeah, elevator speech right there.
Yeah, right there.
You didn't know you were talking to the boss lady either.
And, they heard my story and what I wanted to do and my vision with Campus Live. And immediately they were just like, hey, do you have a card? And it was that story and vision that really, I feel, kind of helped us turn a little bit, because that's when we encountered this place. After that, and again, making a shameless plug to this place, if you've got an idea that you think is a big idea and something that's really cool and unique, I would really encourage you to bring it to the Innovation Hub, because that's what this place is all about. So have, just multiple meetings with the Innovation Hub and really kind of outlining my business plan and what I want to do with the company, and my vision for us to be a collegiate media company that solely informs college fan bases of fun and exciting things happening at the schools they love. And launching it at multiple schools, taking it to schools across the country, because I feel there is a need for a media company similar to us. And so that's what it was all about. I did that, I developed it, and then we just started really getting involved with the Innovation Hub. Long story short, they have a really cool competition every year. It's called the Accelerator. and it awards 8 companies in the community make it onto the accelerator, and it's a year-long program. And it's kind of like a Shark Tank style competition. I think it started off with like 15 or 20 companies. You compete against each other. They narrow it down to the final 8, and we were the recipient of a $25,000 grant from Texas Tech because we were one of those 8 companies that won the competition. And so we've been in a year-long program, and the accelerator's mission is to accelerate your company.
Right.
Teach you how to be a company, teach you how to legally form it, teach you how to properly grow it. And then it also just really develops me as a CEO, and a lot of really cool things that we've encountered in this program. But we were really proud to be one of the accelerator recipients for the 2021 class.
And so, like, where does it have CampusLive at now in terms of where you're at within that accelerator program, number one? And what is the goal? Like, I mean, when you're sitting down with these people at the Innovation Hub, I'm sure they have, some ideas, some pretty strong ones of like, hey, this is where you need to be. Here's your ideas, but we need to put them on paper. I mean, and put them into action or so. Yep. Where are you at in that process?
So we competed in the accelerator April of last year, so April 2020. And then we made it into the top 8, and we started the program May of the very next month. So we're 3 or 4 months away from completing that year-long program. And so where it positions us as a company, it has just developed us. I mean, it's literally, they assign to you a group of 5 board mentors who you meet with on a monthly basis. Our board mentors they have certain categories. So one of our guys oversees, he mentors us in the finance realm. We've got a legal counsel. We've got someone who's experienced in advertising and marketing and sales who sits on it. And then Kimberly Graham, who's the Associate Vice President here of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. She's actually our lead mentor. And then Gene Evans is just a great business counsel as well. So it's 5 people who sit on it. I meet with them monthly. Every month I get different milestones. They want to know what we're doing to, did you switch over to an LLC? How are your P&Ls looking? How do we help you grow your company? Let's take you through the proper process to scale your company. Yeah. Let's take you through the legal process of securing your trademark. All of those things are just really neat and really cool opportunities for me as a CEO as well to learn firsthand from the best in the business on how to properly run a company. Yeah, that's neat to have. A lot of people don't even know. Number one, that it can exist, but there's been a lot of companies that start up and they're just. Yeah. So it's pretty cool to have some mentors like that, especially with that stature. Yep. And we'll finish the program in May, and then additionally we did receive the funding from Texas Tech that really helped us to get a lot of those things in place, systems and processes. Building our studio, just all sorts of really cool things. So I really, really do credit the Texas Tech Innovation Hub for a lot of where I really think we turned the corner as a company. That's awesome. So that's what CampusLive is. There's your story. There's your backstory behind it. So now kind of let's move forward and say, hey, what's the vision of CampusLive? Sure. And then what's your 5-year plan? What's it in your vision in 5 years? Sure. Well, the biggest thing I say about CampusLive is because we get asked often, who are you? What do you do? We're a media company. And just like any other media company in this town, both locally or nationally, people need to be informed about things. Mm-hmm. But at CampusLive, what makes us unique and different from others is actually the things we don't cover at CampusLive. So, example. In our founding principles as a company, I always stated that we would never dip into crime in the Lubbock community, so you won't get that from our platform. You can get that locally from every other media outlet. We don't cover politics. We don't cover city government. We don't cover political movements. We cover nothing negative about the university. So I think that has really, really helped us. Because when we did customer discovery after being at it for a couple of years, we had a 100% response of positive thoughts about our brand. Things ranging from, this is my break from it all, I love what you guys do. It keeps me in the loop about everything I love about my school and the community, and that's what it is. It's fun and exciting things happening at Texas Tech. Our coverage is all over the place. It's Texas Tech sports, Tech alumni news, Greek life, academics, fun and exciting things happening in Lubbock. So local musicians, concerts, growth in Lubbock, restaurants, art.
It's not like it just completely pertains to Texas Tech University. I'm saying there's a huge part of that, don't get it wrong, and there's a big support behind that, but it also expands into Lubbock and this whole west area in general.
Well, and that's why we say in our mission statement we want to be a collegiate media company that informs and engages campus communities. So we mean community as a whole. And so I always say, our biggest following to Campus Live is actually 25 to 34-year-olds. But I say when I'm, out there selling the brand, we say campus communities because whether you're an alumni of the university, a current student, just a general fan of Texas Tech or a proud West Texan, it doesn't matter. This is the community as a whole.
Right.
And we want to be that media brand that informs and engages you of the fun things happening at Texas Tech and within the community. And again, what makes our brand just so unique is the things we stay away from.
Yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead, sorry.
I just, in a world where you're scrolling 100 miles an hour on social media, the way I've always thought is how do we generate a stop in your mindset, because you want to stop. Oh, whoa, I'm going 100 miles an hour, but there's a Campus Live logo. Yeah. That's going to be something fun. Yeah. That's going to be something non-COVID. You should be informed about all those things. You should be informed about crime and the community, politics, COVID. As a media guy, I think you should be. But from our platform and from my perspective and stance on the founding principles of our company, we stay completely away from those things.
Yeah, you get enough of that.
Yeah, we want to be the break away from it all.
Yeah, and I think so far that's where it's been. That's where it's heading to.
So in terms of growth and where we're heading, the vision of the company is I think there should be a Campus Live at we should have a presence in every state across the country.
Yeah.
And so the biggest thing for me and with the Accelerator program and with our board of mentors and really trying to get this thing going, that's one of the big goals and pushes for this year is scale. And so in an effort to scale, we had already previously launched a Campus Live TCU, and we use the same color schemes, the same logo, except it's everything purple, Horned Frogs, and Fort Worth. We did go and launch a Campus Live UT in Austin, and again, same logo, just it's all burnt orange and everything ATX. And so the vision of the company is to, especially this year that we've got the Lubbock office kind of rocking and rolling, is to really kind of get boots on the ground in those other markets and have them reflect what we're doing here in Lubbock.
Yeah. So you're saying Tech will be your hub.
Tech will be the
this
flagship.
is the flagship mother base, home base, I say.
Yeah,
so
that's where it all started.
Yeah, and then and it feeds out from there. The thing that's cool about media is it's almost like transferable in the sense that media can happen from anywhere too. Mm-hmm. We talk about boots on the ground is important, but we can share from anywhere. And that's what's cool is you can connect people from all different places from any point, which is neat. And I think Campus Live, as long as you grasp those that interest, you'll have that there in your back pocket.
Yep. And we'll be sending some of our team. So most of our fans probably know Reagan Heston, who's been essentially the face of our Campus Live TV broadcast here at Texas Tech. As the company has grown, Reagan works with us full time, and many people, if you don't know her behind the scenes day to day, she actually, our title with us is Director of Brand Development and Creative Media. So a lot of what you see every single day on social media and our website and Campus Live TV a lot of it is Reagan behind the scenes working with her creative team.
Yeah.
But we're sending Reagan over to TCU, and she'll start there February the 5th, and we'll really be just kind of ramping up our efforts to grow the Fort Worth market and Campus Live TCU and have it reflect what we're doing in Lubbock. But funny story about Reagan, because I have to tell this story. It's part of the story.
Okay.
I I found Reagan when she was a student, and at the time she was a bartender at Teddy Jack's, and just would kind of go there. I'd have my full day of being in the office, which was being in the basement.
Yeah.
And 100 no's every day. People are like, yeah, right, that's never going to work, never going to happen, buddy. Get it going first.
Good
and
luck.
Maybe we'll, yeah. Oh, man. So I had, I would go stop at Teddy Jack's a couple days a week, and I just kind of got to know Reagan and became one of her regulars. And I knew she was in media and communications. And so one day she, as a good bartender, you get to know your patrons.
Yeah.
And so she would always ask about Campus Live. And anyhow, one day I was like, Reagan, I have an idea. I think I'm going to go do this thing called Campus Live TV. And she was like, well, great. What is it going to be? And I kind of told her what it was. And then I was like, but I think you should try it out on the TV camera. And she was like, okay, I've never really done that before, but I'm happy to go do it. And well, the first thing was, where's our office?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about that.
We're kind of in a basement.
which is creepy enough. Like, before you ask.
Although
you're asking
Reagan told me the other day, you need to stop making the basement sound like it was so creepy.
Yeah,
it was a really nice theater room.
Right. Because my thoughts of the basement are not a nice theater room.
And so I invited Reagan. I was like, can you give it a shot? And she showed up that day. Then it was the next week, and I went and bought a little microphone from Best Buy, and my brother had the basement had a 120-inch HD screen down there. Mm-hmm. So we would use that as our Campus Live backdrop, and Reagan would deliver the
news.
From
right
it
there.
was hilarious.
That's great.
And the reason I bring that story up is now I was talking about us sending Reagan to TCU. Well, she's been with me ever since the basement.
Yeah, so she knows what she knows. She kind of understands the whole grind part of that too.
She knows it. Yeah. One day we were looking out and we were about to leave here, and I just looked at all of our equipment and office and team, and I was like, Reagan, did you ever think we'd be here?
Yeah. She's honestly, maybe not. Maybe she did. I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyways,
well,
humble
cool.
start, and I guess moral point of the story is just, we aim to be a fun and engaging collegiate media company. It was a great humble start, and we've just worked hard, and it's been all a team effort. I always say Campus Live is not about me, and it never will be. It's about the amazing team that we have in place that comes to work every day with creative thoughts, ideas, energy, all in an effort to make this thing, fingers crossed, a national brand.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, awesome. Well, Marcus, thanks for stopping by here at your own little spot, joining the podcast. If you have any questions, here's the thing: is a lot of times people listen to these podcasts, and all of a sudden there's something piques their interest to have a question about. Maybe they have a question I want to ask you, Marcus, or someone maybe have an idea that they're interested in. Maybe it's the Innovation Hub. I don't know, something within Campus Live. Comment. Send us something below this video, or this podcast video, I should say, and let us know, because we like to get back to you. We're very responsive, and we want to connect to the people who enjoy watching what we put out. So, yeah, but make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. Be sure to check us out. We have a lot of really cool things that come out with here, whether it's athletics, academics, pretty much anything positive. And so hopefully it's 2021, and we got a lot of really cool positive things coming versus last year. So, yeah. But that's about it. I appreciate you guys joining. Thank you. Again, thanks, Marcus.
Thanks.